The devil is real. He's not a little red man with horns and a tail. He can be beautiful, because he's a fallen angel, and he used to be God's favorite.
Demons. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about the evilest of evil, the cruelest of cruel, the king of darkness, the most terrifying villain in the Powerpuff Girl universe. Him, also known as his Infernal Majesty, is a powerful, flamboyant, androgynous demon. His Infernal Majesty is also a gothic rock band from the 90s, and I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching him as a child, it never occurred to me that he was the devil. For the longest time, I thought he was just a cross-dressing crab or lobster, my bad. Him is the personification of evil. He is vicious, mysterious, demonic, and appears to have no motivation other than the sadistic enjoyment of causing others pain. It's one thing to have a villain with motive, but it's a whole different ballpark when you have one who's doing it just for the thrill of the game. He views everyone as a plaything, an easily disposable toy that he can manipulate and discard whenever he pleases. When it comes to other Powerpuff Girl villains, they often fight with their hands or use some type of weapon to fight the girls, but not him. Him is the king of psychologically mind-f***ing his victims rather than taking his opponents on physically. Almost everyone, even the villains, want no kind of smoke from him. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the most dangerous enemy of the Powerpuff Girls. It's another beautiful day in the city of Townsville, and a three-headed dragon is currently attacking it. Of course, the Powerpuff Girls pull up and make easy work of the red beast, and they end up using it as a jump rope for Bubbles. Unaware that they were being secretly monitored by none other than him.
Oh no, not... I can't say it!
Him is so evil and diabolical. He's on Lord Voldemort status, he who must not be named. Even had the narrator tripping on his words, and that the only way to safely say his name is by using pronouns? Do you not understand how terrifying you have to be for people to use your pronouns only and not your real name? It's like the Bloody Mary effect. Say him's government name and he'll pull up. But before I go any deeper, I gotta say this though. Him was ahead of his time. Rocking them Mary J. Blige boots. It's a family affair out here. Can you imagine if they try to make a character like him today? They would cancel the Powerpuff Girls with the swiftness. When he first speaks, you would expect a rough, deep, masculine voice.
Oh, snake bees. You didn't destroy them at all, did you? How could you let the Powerpuff Girls humiliate you?
This is even better. Him has this chilling, high-pitched, effeminate-sounding voice that echoes with every word. After we learned that him sent the dragon, we switch back to the girls and Buttercup yeeting the giant beast at Blossom trying to play catch, but she throws it too hard and ends up accidentally destroying a building with the mayor and Miss Bellum inside. Pink and Green start fighting each other while they go back and forth. Bubbles is unfortunately caught in the middle.
I hate it when you guys fight.
The moment him heard Bubbles say that, he had an instant brain blast and started plotting. We cut back to the crib where Blossom and Buttercup are still arguing and it looks like they're about to throw hands. Meanwhile, we see Bubbles in tears, sobbing her eyes out that her sisters are fighting. That is until she hears a creepy voice calling out to her.
Yes, Bubbles, I can talk.
Not him possessing Octi. In a soothing tone, he eases the crying Bubbles while watching her through his TV, which is also unsettling. You telling me him can watch them whenever and however he wants? He then uses emotional manipulation to convince Bubbles that Buttercup should be in charge and that Blossom is too controlling for her own good. You know, him is messy as hell. You can tell he gets a kick off of messing with the girls' sisterhood and dynamic. We cut to the next day at school and they get a call on the hotline and there's a monster put a belt to ass on the city. This ain't nothing new. And I know I sound like a broken record because this wouldn't be the first time I mentioned this in my Powerpuff Girl videos. But seriously though, does Townsville have monster insurance or what? The girls head off to confront the monster with Bubbles holding Octi in her arms. Blossom orders Bubbles to leave the doll behind, but him convinces Bubbles to challenge Blossom's authority. While Octi is whispering sweet nothings in her ear, Blossom and Buttercup are getting their shit rocked and refuse to work together, as both are still angry about the fight from last night. Bubbles goes up to Buttercup and tells her that Octi thinks Buttercup should do what she wants to do and not follow Blossom's orders. That's all Buttercup needs to hear as she disregards Blossom's orders and flies towards a water tank, tears it apart, and tossing it at the monster, landing a direct hit. Now, I'm sure all of you think Buttercup defeated the monster and no casualties, so what's the problem?
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Grandma got ran over by a kaiju.
Oops.
Buttercup, baby girl, be so for real. You lucky nobody was recording that ish, or you, actually not you. The professor would have been hit with a lawsuit. Not only that, but did you just waste the city's water supply? Isn't that considered tampering? The professor is about to go to jail again, and now we got Grandma Shirley about to head off to singing Jesus' choir. We head back to the house where the tension between Blossom and Buttercup has reached a boiling point, and they start throwing hands. Not in my house where I pay bills. While Pink and Green are beating the brakes off each other, Him is flying around his room in excitement that his plan is working, and we switch back to Bubbles begging Octi to say something.
Stupid little girl.
They're fighting because of you. Because you believe your toys can really talk. And you actually do what they tell you to do.
Him, who is causing havoc in the city, is pursued by an extremely distressed Bubbles, and I know it's a kids show at the end of the day, but there is no way he didn't catch a few bodies during his deadly spree. When Bubbles pull up, I think it's commendable that she believes she can handle him on her own, but when she confronts him, a tentacle grabs her and slowly crushes her. The cries of Bubbles echo throughout the night, all the way back to the crib where Buttercup and Blossom are sulking. When they hear their sister's cries of pain, they lock in. Both arrive at the scene and look at each other. You can sense that they're still unsure of each other, but then they smile. The two work together to get Bubbles out of the tentacles, and we see him floating slumped over in a cloud of flame as he burns away. And the day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls, but we have to keep in mind that him didn't even attempt to fight back when he had the power to do so. This is Him's debut episode, and the only way he can attack the girls is by psychologically and emotionally attacking Bubbles, who did the work for him. After sending two monsters to attack the girls, which failed, he used a backup plan to target the most sensitive and vulnerable Powerpuff. While we know Bubbles is far from weak, she could 2v1 her sisters any day of the week, she's also naive and gullible and considered the group's weakest link. How could Him have missed the opportunity to mentally fry Bubbles? In 10 minutes, Him demonstrated to us why he is so terrifying. His abilities alone are insane. Like, he can summon monsters at random, he used telekinesis to close a door even though he wasn't in the room, and he used Octi as a means to influence Bubbles, which is evil. I say that because Octi was Bubbles' first gift from the professor on the day she was created and born.
This is the best gift ever, Dad.
Don't play. And you know when it comes to him, I don't play.
He is valuable to her and she adores her stuffed toy, only for him to utilize that gift in such a malicious way? Girl, it's the way I would be so pressed if somebody turned my Pochita plushie into a weapon. And this isn't even the worst of what he's done to the girls. We return to another beautiful day in Townsville, and for once, the city isn't getting jumped by a bunch of kaiju, and we see our girls flying around the city helping all its citizens. From their teacher, Miss Keene, assisting the mayor in opening a pickle jar, helping the professor with his science project, and saving a cat from a tree. Wait, hold on. Why did Buttercup uproot the tree just to tilt it to Bubbles, who grabs the cat, and Blossom flies Granny towards the cat? They have the power of flight. They easily could have just snatched the cat from the tree and handed it to Granny. It seems like a lot of unnecessary steps were taken here. Anyways, before I get distracted, we can all clearly see that the city of Townsville loves and adores the Powerpuff Girls, but where there is love, there is also hate. And the one person who lives to hate the Powerpuff Girls is none other than him. Hate is such a simple word to describe how much him openly despises the girls. He has such a deep loathing for them that he was tweaking out for a full minute at how much he hates those bug-eyed brats and wish they would just die.
Powerpuff Girls, save us! Powerpuff Girls, we hate you! Powerpuff Girls, we love you! But I don't like you!
Him talks to Mr. Quackers about how he can defeat them, and Mr. Quackers whispers in his ear, quack quack.
You hate them too?
Quack, quack.
Quack.
Yes!
Quack, 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 quack. Thank you. My thigh is on point. My homegirl seducer gave me a wax job. He pulls up and turns the sky red, and the moon splits in two as him emerges over the city. And this demon plagues the entirety of Townsville with toxic hate gas in the middle of the night. This is peak hating because the very next day, everybody and their grandmama hates the Powerpuff Girls. The cat they saved the day before is putting paws on Bubbles, which is crazy because she's the animal whisperer. Granny with the bad hip is beating them up with her cane. They head to school and the girls are being bullied by their classmates, but Miss Keene is not impressed by her students' behavior of bullying the girls, saying it's not enough, and gets everyone to throw apples at them. Even the hotline has had enough of the Powerpuff Girls. They rush to the mayor's crib thinking he needs help with the pickle jar again, but it's a setup, a trap by the mayor. As soon as Blossom grabs the pickle jar, the mayor sends in a SWAT team on the girls and pulls every type of Glock you can imagine. Even the baddie with a fatty Miss Bellum pulls out a revolver ready to empty out the joint. It's the way this episode escalated so quickly. Not only does SWAT pull up, a fine homegirl Miss Bellum got a gun? Not wanting to paint the mayor's office red with their blood, the girls hightail it out of there. The situation is so bad that the narrator of the show breaks the fourth wall to ridicule and act hostile towards them. They head back home, explaining to the professor that everybody wants to jump them and Miss Bellum got a strap. Instead of the kind, loving, and patient professor we all know and love, he turns around with nothing but hateful rage in his eyes. And I know for a fact it's terrifying for the girls. I'm sure they can handle all of Townsville hating and despising their guts, but not their dad. We've seen the professor angry before, but nothing like this. It's not just his expression, but the tone of voice he used against the girls, filled with menacing loathing, like he was ready to kill them. The girls bust the door open, only to be surrounded by a vengeful mob and the professor with glowing red eyes, chanting over and over again,
Destroy the Powerpuff Girls. Destroy the Powerpuff Girls.
Him rises up in all of his infernal glory and reveals to the girls he gave the entire town hateration holleration, and this is where he gets hella disrespectful. He wraps himself around my king, the professor, like a snake and licks his face, tonguing that man down. This is my delicious man meat now. Him doing what him does best, taunts and baits the girls before controlling the vengeful mob to jumping and beating the girls senseless. The mad mob said F them kids. Buttercup, done with his clownery, knocks the crowd back. Him is caught off guard that Buttercup actually put hands on the people she loves. Listen, if there's one thing about Buttercup, it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or a daddy. The moment you put hands on her, all bets are off. Buttercup yells at her sisters that their loved ones would never hurt them. When Blossom and Bubbles realize her point, they grin deviously at each other. Y'all already know they caught multiple bodies. When I say nobody was safe from their hands. Even the cat and Granny got swung on. They even jumped the professor. All three took a turn rearranging the professor's face and organs, laying that man out flat. When the slaughter was over, everybody is slumped, most definitely concussed, about to wake up with a fat old knot on their head. The girls warn him to never do something like this again, or it's gonna be his ass. And him gloats that he would never repeat an old performance and dips off again without catching any hands. This is the second time in a row that him dodged a rightfully appropriate Powerpuff jumping. Every other villain has done this sacred ritual of getting the brakes beat off them, and you have the nerve to duck out? Are we sure he is him?
Honey, You've got a big storm coming.
We switch to the hospitals to see everybody the girls jump on.
Holy fish paste!
The girls didn't hold back at all. Damn! Miss Keen looks like a giant puffer fish. The kids got stitches and everybody else is in a full body cast. Even the damn cat is wrapped in bandages. Of course, they don't blame the girls, knowing it was him's machinations at work. And I'm not gonna lie, him's psychopathic nature is so disturbing. While this is another defeat dealt towards him, he continues to learn and soak up information from losing. He learns from many of his mistakes, unlike other villains. However, his one weakness that always leads to his downfall is his insistent need on playing mind games with the girls to amuse himself and continuously underestimating the girls' willpower and bond for each other. That bond will be tested in the most horrific episode of the Powerpuff Girls, and where the King of Darkness demonstrates why he is him. The episode opens up with math. I'm more of an English girly than a math one. I'll gladly read and write a 300-page book that evaluate the limit and derivatives. And speaking of calculus, that's what it looks like Miss Keen is doing, because she suddenly goes off, leaving you, me, and the kids confused on what she's put on the chalkboard. Ma'am, these are 5 to 6-year-olds. Do they even know how to add or subtract yet? I'm no genius, but a quick Google search online, Miss Keen did an in-depth lesson on temporal physics and the theory of relativity, basically the key to time travel. School is finally out, and the girls are beyond ecstatic as they're going on a trip to the Bahamas for the weekend. I know that's right. I can't imagine being 5 and constantly saving a city with no breaks. Buttercup, forever challenging her sisters, requests a race back home. The girls speed off, moving so fast, they split a random guy's car in two and end up breaking the sound barrier, accidentally traveling into the future. Barry Allen would be so proud. But the future ain't nothing like Back to the Future. It's a dystopian wasteland. When they arrive home, the girls don't notice their surroundings. They enter the crib, and just like siblings do, they argue with each other. Bubble starts crying for the professor and rushes to his lab, but something is seriously wrong. They find the professor, who did not age gracefully and is now a grisly, wrinkled old man attempting to replicate the accident that made the Powerpuff Girls. The girls try to talk to the professor, but he completely loses it, screaming how they're not real and his mind is playing tricks on him again. He scares them away as the girls go outside and discover that Townsville has been reduced to ruins. The girls then fly through the decimated city, eventually reaching City Hall, and they discover fine-ass Miss Bellum has gone old and senile, clutching the mayor's hat like a prized trophy, yelling, "Mine! Mine! Mine!" repeatedly at the girls. We have no idea what happened to the mayor other than the fact that he's dead and that he was calling them on the hotline for help, only for the girls to never respond. What could have possibly happened to Townsville that caused this kind of destruction? It seems as though everyone is stuck in a fixed time point or moment before the catastrophic event occurred. They're all aging, but their minds are stuck in a time loop forever and ever, repeating that tragic day. The girls soon flee to her school, encountering Miss Keen. Old, frail, and seemingly locked in a trance, is waving goodbye on repeat even though there's nobody there. And that's when Miss Keen reveals the devastating truth. The girls have been MIA, gone, for 50 years. The girls are stunned at the revelation, and just then, cheerful, demonic laughter echoes behind them. It's none other than him. Him gleefully gloats that since they gained access to the Speed Force and disappeared for 50 years, Townsville and the entire world have become his playground. He continues to tease and mock them, and the girls have had enough of him running his mouth and gives the devil the jumping of a lifetime. But he has successfully survived getting tag teamed by the Powerpuff Girls. Not even Mojo Jojo survives a Powerpuff jumping. Not only did him survive and tank all their attacks, he wasn't even phased, acting as if getting bodied by 3 mini Supermen was just an inconvenience. And when I tell y'all they were throwing hands, the girls put body, heart, mind, soul, tears, sweat, blood to every kick and punch. The battle rages on as we see the shadow of the fight and signs on a destroyed wall that described what happened. The professor being exposed as a fraud and everyone dropping him, the mayor dying at the age of 83, and the best question for last, who is him? Meanwhile, the girls are trying to beat the hell out of him, but nothing is working. Him proves to be a masochist, enjoying not only the pain they're inflicting on his body, but taking immense satisfaction that the once formidable Powerpuff Girls are now nothing but weak, crying 5-year-olds throwing a tantrum. The girls stop fighting him as they are all breathing heavily, drenched in sweat. Him face down, ass up, remains unharmed, looking up at them with a smile.
Are you finished?
Oh, hell no!
Blossom tells him that he can never defeat them.
Oh, say like.
His eyes glow green, and he tauntingly tells them that he has already won. He has a demonic transformation as his whole body grows massive. Not only is he bigger, but his Mary J. Blige boots go on for miles, and he's jacked. Like, what he got there, a 6 or an 8-pack? Now, you would think him is about to get his lick back and fight the girls. Oh nah. Instead, he summons the people of Townsville to attack them. And when I mean by attack, I mean emotionally destroy them. How everything that happened to them, the city, and the planet is their fault. The townspeople continue chanting as one as each verbal attack leaves the girls deeply guilt-ridden and filled with remorse. This is beyond disturbing and messed up. It's so easy to forget that while the girls have powers that could rival a god and are superheroes, they're still little girls. And it hurts me. It physically hurts me how frightened they are and feeling so much regret and fear. After all of this psychological torture, him manages to break the Powerpuff Girls and does so without physically attacking them. The girls scream in agony as they run away into space. Mind you, the girls never run away from a fight. If anything, they go towards it. They had no other choice but to retreat away from him. The girls fly so fast back to Earth, they open another portal and return to the present. As they head home, the girls greet everyone they pass by, tackling and hugging the professor and telling him they can never leave Townsville, not even for a weekend. And I guess the day is saved, but that's not true. The girls lost. They met their match. Despite preventing the horrific future they witnessed, him still won. He gave the girls a true taste of his power, which I believe wasn't even at 100%, that no matter how hard they try, he'll always be superior. What's truly messed up about Speed Demon is that him has forever left the Powerpuff Girls with this sense of paranoia. He psychologically scars them so deeply that they're afraid to even leave Townsville. And this is why him is a fan favorite villain. He doesn't need brute force, he plays and manipulates your fears and lets you destroy yourself. And him is the only villain in the Powerpuff Girl roster that holds a clear W over them. He made the girls, the heroes, give up and leave. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, he is him. I know this is late, but Happy New Year. We're in the year 2026, and I can't wait to see what this year has to offer me and you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the notifications so you never miss an update. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!